Hi guys, how are we doing? This is just another update on the situation in the UK. As of tonight, there's disturbances broke out in Wolverhampton. There's disturbances broke out in Kent. There's disturbances broke out in Oxford. There's been reports of disturbances already in London. It's 5:35 p.m. now. The town, the city that I'm in Bristol. As far as I know, everything's relatively quiet. I think they're anticipating something tonight. The football match has been cancelled. They've been boarding up the town centre, as they have been doing all over the country in the main inner city shopping centres. I don't know. I just want to talk about just some observations that I'm having. You know, if you look through my channel, I started this channel off in early January, and I've mentioned it to a couple of people. And if you heard it before, you know, you'll have to forgive us, but I feel like I need to say it. You know, when it all kicked off with Tunisia, I spent every spare moment I could finding out what was going on in Tunisia and getting information out. You know, I did the same with Egypt, and I did the same with Libya. Unfortunately, I couldn't carry on with Libya because there was other things that came up as well. Now the thing is, why am I talking about this? Well, what I'm seeing today is a perfect example of what happened during those uprisings. So if you remember, because I spent so much time on what was happening in Egypt and in Tunisia, I'll be able to kind of give it a few comparisons. If you remember, for Egypt, for example, if you remember the Mubarak's militia, the gangs of thugs that were going around kicking off all over the place. Can you remember the camel? The guy on the camel with the whip, going into Cairo. Now what happened after that? People turned to the government, didn't they? People turned to Mubarak for help. People were frightened. People were in fear of these thugs running amok throughout their neighbourhoods, throughout their cities. If you remember, the Cairo Museum was damaged, and people were like, "Oh, we have to stop this. We have to stop this. We have to stop this." And everybody, for a moment, looked to government, didn't they? They looked to Mubarak for reassurance. And what did Mubarak do? Mubarak promised crackdowns on these thugs. But it turned out that the thugs themselves were part of Mubarak's lot, if you remember. So why am I going on about this? In order to protect themselves from Mubarak's thugs, what people did was organised. They organised amongst themselves, creating committees, neighbourhood committees, to protect their property and to protect their businesses, which worked really well. And people realised after that the true enemy was the people who was inciting and issuing the orders to the thugs. Now if you remember, the same thing happened in Tunisia as well. Another uprising. If you remember, when Ben Ali was about to get ousted because the rebellion had increased in power and determination, even after that, I'm talking about after the massacre of Kesserin, after that, Ben Ali, when he was about to fall, if you remember correctly, he released the militia onto the people. He released his militia onto the people, and the people were afraid, and they looked to Ben Ali for security. However, the people cottoned on that the militia were acting on the orders of Ben Ali or people within Ben Ali's government. Now also, if you remember, the Arab uprisings of Tunisia and Egypt and Libya, remember the fear of Twitter. Remember the fear that Mubarak had of Twitter, and he blocked it all out, didn't he? He threatened to arrest people who were using social networks to protest against his regime. Now, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of coincidence there with what's happening here in the UK. This is the thing. I mean, I don't think people have realised yet that this has the potential to be an uprising. It has the potential to be an uprising. Now, I'm not saying that some of the things what we've seen aren't horrific, because they are. But the thing is, the economy's about to collapse. The economy's about to collapse. I don't know whether I've made any sense to you, but things are starting to make sense to me, you know, because this is it. We've got people. Well, yesterday, for instance, in London, they had these armoured trucks, and I can remember watching it on the news. These armoured trucks that have never been used before, brand new, that were on the streets of London yesterday, and the guy was on the TV saying, you know, these trucks is what they use in Northern Ireland. You know, and people think this is all right. You know, so there's one freedom gone already. Now people are talking about allowing the government to use plastic bullets. Well, the police actually used real bullets, and they've actually killed somebody, which looks as if it's been it looks as if it's been an execution. A guy called Mark Duggan. Now, the Independent Police Complaints Commission has just released today that there is no evidence to suggest he attempted to fire at a police officer. This has just been released in the last half hour. Mark Duggan, a young black male, was shot by the police in Brixton. You know. So people are wanting plastic bullets, fire plastic bullets at them. You know, and the government are lapping this up. People have even been calling for the army. So forget the police. People are wanting martial law in the UK, and they think that that is perfectly fucking fine. People are willing at the moment to give up their freedoms and to live under martial law because they feel afraid. This is what we have going on in the UK now. Now, look through my channel, look at some of the videos on the on what happened in Tunisia. Look at some of the videos about what happened in Egypt, and just don't forget what happened there, because there's something going down in the UK now. There's something going down in the UK now.